Alright guys, so this is Professor Aaron Camp, and today we're going to do a quick little Moodle review to get you acquainted with the Moodle page for this particular class. So first, of course, you're going to want to go to www.moodle.uncc.edu, and then you're going to want to log in with your login information. If you've been there recently, it will have saved that information and you can just log in. Of course, if it's been a while, you're going to need to update your password, like myself here. Maybe you want to save it if you're going to be logging in on a regular basis. So, this is what it looks like when you first log in. Many of you are familiar with this. What you see in the left-hand corner is a list of your current classes for this semester, spring 2013, and Biology 1110 section you are in is my section, and that's section 1. So you click on that, and here's the web page you're going to see. So the first thing, up at the top here, you have this news forum, and this news forum is where you can post any questions that you have about the class, and if you post anything in there, it's actually going to email the entire class whatever you post. So usually I'll be posting things in the news forum, just so announcements about upcoming assignment due dates and so forth. But if you have a question you think would be advantageous for the rest of the class to know, you can be posting in there as well. And whenever I post something in the news forum, you can also respond to it if you have any further questions. So after that, a couple things that I've already talked to you about are the reading guides, which you need to print off and actually do the associated reading guide for that particular topic before the day it's due, so that you are already familiar with that material and you're simply reviewing it as we go through class, or at least you have a general idea of whatever we'll be discussing that day. So it's advisable to print all those off at one time. A little bit easier to do that. Of course, you can print them off in sections if you like, if you don't want to do so much printing at one time. Now next you have your lecture outlines, and it's also advisable to print those off all at once, and we'll be filling those out as I lecture. So following that, you have general course information, and this is where you find things like the course schedule day by day, and you can see here that this is just the particular topic schedule. The topic we'll be covering that day, the date in which we'll be covering it, the reading that you should do ahead of time. Of course, a lot of people will not have done this before the first day, so oftentimes you'll need to read the first couple of sections in order to catch up. But you'll need to do this reading whilst filling out the reading guide, and then this is the topic we'll cover in lecture that day. You'll fill out the lecture outline for that as well. Now you can see over here we also have a section that I've designated assignment due before class, and these include, on this list, the reading quizzes. And those reading quizzes I'll show you are posted in Moodle. You'll take them online. There's instructions for doing so, and so forth. So in addition to that, you have the general course information, and this is the syllabus. It has a detailed breakdown of the grades. All of my contact information is in here as well. Of course, my office hour times, and of course you can always make an appointment with me. Note my email. Of course, you can always email me with any questions that you have. This goes over the course description, of course academic and attendance policies, and other things that we'll be reviewing in detail in class. There's also a quiz on this syllabus in order to make sure that you've read all the material herein. So there's sections on netiquette, how you should address professional emails. Also on the general course information section is clicker information. Usually in your sections you'll have, so let's go, this is what you'll be looking at. This is the page as you'll see it. In the upper right hand corner right here, you'll see a box that talks about how to register your clicker. So if you click on how to register your clicker in Moodle, it gives you step-by-step instructions. You just log into Moodle. Then there's a clicker box, usually right here on your page as a student. You'll click on Manage My Device IDs. On the back of your clicker is this device ID. You enter that ID, and then if you have multiple classes you'll be using the clicker for, of course it's most advantageous to register your clicker for all of your courses You then click register. Your clicker will then be registered for this particular class. LEAP information, this is of course our additional instruction that's extremely helpful. We'll be going over the LEAP program and exactly it can help you with this class, how it can help you with this class early on in the semester. So we'll talk more about that. More information on tutoring, writing help, certain things about learning styles. Alright, so next we get to the section of reading quizzes. In quizzes, you'll have, the layout will be as follows. You'll have reading quizzes that pertain to the information covered on exam 1. I've opened up a few things for you to see as we go through this. So you can see already reading quiz 1, it tells you exactly what material it covers. It also tells you how many questions is on the quiz, how long you have to take that quiz, and then the due date. You can see here the first quiz is due January 17th, or will be due January 17th. Before you take these quizzes, make sure before you take your first one to read this helpful information, because it goes over certain things like your connectivity to the internet. You want to make sure you have a good solid connection, because if you get bumped off, then your quiz shuts down and you do not have the opportunity to reopen that quiz. It's simply the way that Moodle works. So the next section is where you'll see all of your at-home participation assignments. I've gone ahead for illustrative purposes and opened up the first one, and you can see here you'll have the instructions for your assignment and whatever material you need to conduct that assignment, and then you'll be submitting your assignment on Moodle as well, which in this case you'll usually attach a particular Word document, a PDF, to be uploaded based on these write-ups. So it's another portion of your grade as well. Then you'll have exam information. These will usually include summaries of the types of material you need to know for each particular exam. You can see in this case we have a PDF of things to know for exam 1. Extremely helpful summaries, and they're good to review before your first exam, second exam, every exam in the course. They're a good review to make sure you're familiar with the material that you'll need to know. Lastly, we have each section of each particular topic we'll be covering in class. I've opened up the first one. The first one is introduction and scientific thinking. And there'll usually be 2 sections, which include the essentials, which are the PowerPoint presentations that I'll be using for my lectures. I'm going to be uploading them in PDF format. A lot of times there'll also be practice quizzes on that particular topic as well, which are extremely helpful. And then there'll always be a section of extras. In this particular case, there's a few articles on science for pseudoscience and background on how scientific study is conducted in general. So this extra section will also include things like video tutorials of certain mechanisms, biological mechanisms we'll be studying. So just as a quick review, Moodle page is set up, general course information, anything you need to know about the course, clickers, LEAP, which is the instruction that will be outside of class that will also help you through this entire subject. There's a section for reading quizzes. Remember, you have those every week. There's also a separate section for at-home participation assignments, and of course, as we have an increased number of these, I'll simply be opening them whenever you need to do them on Moodle, so they will not appear on your Moodle page until you need that particular assignment. That's so as the Moodle page doesn't become overwhelming early on in the semester and it's not too much to look at, and it keeps things clean as well. Your exam information, and then lastly we'll have each particular topic, which include essential parts of that topic, the PowerPoints in PDF format, and any other thing that I've deemed necessary as well as some extras, which include certain articles and other video tutorials on certain biological mechanisms that we'll be studying. So that's just a general quick review of how the Moodle page is designed and set up for Biology 1110. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to email me. Thanks, guys.